Good afternoon, everybody. How are you guys doing? I hope everybody is doing well on this fine Sunday afternoon. We are live with the SourceCast. This is our second episode of the SourceCast. Today, we're going to be covering streamer etiquette. If you guys are wondering what streamer etiquette is and how it can help you in furthering your streaming career and everything, that we got you covered today. My name is Grim, XGrim TV, if you want to be exact. I'm the content director of SRC, joined by my co-host here, Itonto.
What up, everyone? Like you said, I am itonto_TTV. I am operations director here at Source Gaming, and I am glad to be back to do the second episode because if Grim can go with me, after our first episode, we were raring to go again.
Yeah, we definitely were. We were ready. As soon as it was over, I remember like talking to you and everybody else, and we were just like, "You guys ready for episode 2? Like, let's do it right now. Come on, let's go, man! Let's do it." It was a lot of fun. It's definitely gonna be just as fun for me. I'm sure it's gonna be just as fun for you, Tonzo. And if you guys sit back, relax, buckle your seatbelts, and put on your listening ears. You know, like what's that old saying that like your mom used to say, like earmuffs? Take those damn things off, please. Take those things off. Sit back, relax, and listen to some of the knowledge that we have to share with you guys today. So, if you guys wondering what streamer etiquette is, streamer etiquette basically covers the core fundamentals of what it means to be a streamer and being a decent human being. Honestly, things like muting yourself, basic fundamentals, down to not asking for hosts and raids, no self promotion, don't ask for bits, subs, follows, follow for follow, empty stuff like that. We're gonna cover every aspect of it, and here's why. Tonto.
You know what? These should be really common sense things that we're going to go over, but it's not. It's really not. Me and Grim have had multiple conversations about streamer etiquette. Most of this is going to be for people who stream, but this is also when you're just a chatter as well. You can take a lot of what we're talking about to heart. It's not hard to be a decent human being, but some people need to be reminded. And also, it's just there's a place and time for everything, and the way how you present yourself in other people's streams, it means a lot. You may not think it does, but it does.
It's insane how lackadaisical people can get, even with your friends and stuff like that. I understand sometimes there you might get a little relaxed. Say Tonto and myself are playing and everything, and we're at an establishment, and like, hey, it doesn't really matter, man. You don't have to like cut your stuff off every time you want to talk to stream and everything. But there's a certain level of that, and it's a certain understanding of common sense. Say like you get a raid, you're gonna be talking your stream for a second and everything like that, even if it's in the middle of a game, in the middle of anything. Anytime you get raided, you have about 30 seconds to a minute to make an impression on not just the person raiding you, but the people that he brings with him or her. Making that impression is huge. You don't want to be making that impression to your buddy's community as well, to where you're being an arrogant asshole, so to speak. Tonto's sitting there playing, hey, I got him cracked. He's won. And I'm like, Joe Schwo, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it so much, man. Timmy Turner, 92, thank you for the sub. It's just so obnoxious, and it drives nails on chalkboards up and down, making little riverines. It's just a slight pet peeve, just a slight one. I'm sure Tonto can attest to that too.
Yeah, I can. Me and Grim have a common ground. It doesn't really bother me if I know you're streaming, and obviously you're going to be talking to your chat. And why else are you streaming? You're trying to be interactive. But I told him one time, like, yeah, I don't care. You don't have to mute me. It doesn't bother me. But it's something that matters to him. He does always ask, like, hey, just let you know, which is good because not everyone's like me where I'm really chill about it. You're going to be meeting other people who they want that. They obviously go about it in a respectful way, like, hey, man, just so you know, I need you to mute if you're going to do that because, I'm trying to do my thing and everything. Again, it's the number one thing is going to come down to being respectful. So that person be respectful to you. If you guys are both going to be streaming, awesome. Just set some ground rules. It's a lot of like when you first move in with someone and you got to tell them, oh, hey, this may seem like a small thing to you, but this actually really bothers me. So you got to work together as a team.
It's all teamwork. Teamwork makes a dream work. There's so much more to streamer etiquette than just muting, just being polite, being this and being that. It comes down to your core fundamentals as a person, how you present yourself and how you represent your brand in your community. And keep in mind always that You as a streamer are a direct reflection of your community, and your community is a direct reflection of yourself. In doing so, and in practicing what you preach, you do pass on these good behaviors and these good skills little bit by little bit. Even if it's something as simple as sharing that you're live with somebody. Not obnoxiously like, hey man, I'm live, bro. Even though you know they're live, but like off to the side, maybe message them in a DM and be like, hey, even if they're not live, hey, keep in mind I'm live. It's not giving them a warning of like, hey, be fake, or hey, give a different persona. But it's good to know that. You don't want to catch somebody off guard and be like, oh, you've been live this whole time. Like I'm sitting here saying some not against TOS stuff, but things that I don't want like out there. Like maybe it's private information, like non-disclosed information. Me and Tonto were both in SRC. We're both in the staff roles. Certain things we discuss, we cannot discuss out in the open like that. So it's good to pass along like a little, hey man, I'm streaming. Just a little bit of common sense goes a very, very long ways with streamer etiquette. Another thing that people look past is links. Links in your chat. People look past that all the time. Tonto, if you want to hit on that a little bit, I'm sure you can.
Links become very dangerous. You may not know the person, but they are just coming in and they'll put like a pornographic links, a very sus site, and then like, oh hey, now you're getting hacked. You're getting these viruses. It's not to say that it's not always going to be that, but you want to protect yourself and you want to protect your community. One of my friends, it's like maybe like a year and a half ago, where at the time he let people post links, and it's mostly just like funny videos. This guy just out of the blue just like put a link and like, oh, what's this? Took him to a pornographic site, opened up on his main screen so everyone saw it. So he had to delete that VOD. He didn't say that guy got banned. The mods asked, hey, why would you do that? It's like, oh, I thought it'd be funny. I'm like, you know what? That's not funny. Not while somebody's streaming. No.
There's a time and place for everything. While you're streaming, there's no exception for any of the stuff like that. It's not horsing around or playing a joke. You're playing with somebody's well-being, even if it's just a hobby and streaming is just something you do off to the side for fun. It's still very serious. And there could be kids in the chat, and they've never seen things like this. And next thing you know, they're exposed to stuff like that. And it's honestly horrible what people do on the internet nowadays. It's just wild, and especially in people's streams, and outside of pornographic images, it could be viruses, it could be hacks, it could be all types of things, little backdoor Trojans. As many people that you have that care about your stream and care about your community and care about you as an individual, there is an equal individual out there that doesn't give two shits. He does not care about you. He does not care about your stream or your community. They are out with malicious intent, and it is sad, but that is the sad truth. Allowing any type of links, be very wary, be very cautious. I highly suggest that you just don't. It's one thing to let a VIP or a sub or someone, or mod post links in your chat. I wouldn't even allow that. I do allow it on my personal channel, but I have very few mods.
And there could be also people like, well, I want my people to post links. What you can do then is, just to be safe, have one of your mods then have them look at it before you click on it, put it on stream. Just to protect yourself. That is another mod duties, is to double check stuff like that. I get it. You want to show that oh, I trust my chat, I trust my community. You still gotta be careful, because it only takes one person to ruin it for everyone.
It's one of those things that rules are written in not necessarily blood, but they were written in ban hammer. It's really sad when you see a good person get banned for something that was completely out of their control and something that wasn't anything to do with them at all. It was something that was out of their hands. That's why it brings us into the do's and don'ts, streamer etiquette and everything like that, where like you do want to cultivate that genuine relationship with other people and other streamers. That's something you do want to do in terms of streamer etiquette. When you dives into the people that are those negative, malicious, bad people, or people that are new coming into your stream, you want to have those rules. People don't think, they skip right past it when they click onto your stream when they're brand new to the stream. They're just like, oh, click. Like, oh, they probably just got, run-of-the-mill rules. Have your rules put not just when somebody enters the stream, but on your page in bold letters if you can. Outline the rules clearly on your page in the stream. If you're a streamer going into another streamer's stream, respect their rules. If they don't want you cussing, don't cuss. If they don't want you engaging with certain people, don't engage with certain people. It is their stream. It is their getaway. Just like it's your getaway as a streamer, it is just as equally theirs. One of the big things that people just don't really consider, they just think that, oh, my generalized thinking is everybody's generalized thinking. That's not how it works. Everybody has different rules, different mindsets, different invisible lines that they draw. It's definitely something you got to pay attention to.
there's plenty of streamers that when I go into their streams, there are certain chatters I wouldn't really conversate with them on the daily. There would be like an acquaintance, like at work. I limit my interaction with them unless like it's something that we're both involved. If it's a certain conversation that we're having with the streamer or with someone else in chat. But I respect their boundaries, and thankfully, most of the time they respect mine. I don't try to force anything. That just leads to bad things. If you're trying to force something, it's some things are just left to be. I've seen too many people who try to force it. It leaves a bad taste in somebody's mouth. Like, dude, just leave it alone. Don't poke the bear. Again, not common sense to some people.
It's really not. There's those individuals that like to just, poke and poke and poke and poke and poke and try to tiptoe the line. It's not always the smartest thing to do, tiptoeing that line, because the second you step over, it can be that one little time you tiptoe over, time too many, It's the weight of a butterfly sometimes. The next thing you know, you find yourself never able to talk in somebody's chat again. It's just the way you represent yourself, So always keep that in the back of your head. It's not all negative stuff with streamer etiquette. There's a lot of positive things as well. Cross promotion in a very authentic way. You don't want to come across fake. You got to come across very genuine. You don't want to be this fake persona and this fake person. Nobody likes anybody that's fake, Authenticity is something that is so rare nowadays. It's sad, honestly. Just be genuine, be yourself, have fun. Find other like-minded individuals, planning like cross-promotional content, like say like this. Look at this. Look at the podcast. What do you think this is? I'm a streamer. Tonto's a streamer. Grizz in the background, you may not see him currently. He's also a streamer. By the way, huge shout out to Grizz, who is our director of this whole beautiful shindig here. Great guy, full-time streamer. We couldn't do any of this without him. Along with that, he's also a social media manager, and he does a fantastic job with that. So huge shout out to Grizz. Getting a little sidetracked there. It's my bad. Just got a little
things.
Soft spot for Grizz. Either way, that's exactly what this is with the podcast. It is a cross-promotional content event that we're doing here. And when you get like-minded individuals like myself, like Tonto, like Grizz, like Kazi, and other individuals that we're going to have on along the way, you get this beautiful entity that you build together, and this idea that comes to fruition that can turn into something like the SourceCast, that can turn into something like the thing that Nicewig's doing with his community, bringing on other Apex gamers. When you surround yourself by like-minded people, it makes everything easier. So much easier. And you can be yourself, because in this world, being yourself is all that you have. It really is.
I kind of see like it's kind of like a melting pot. So I see like also with like how me and Grim both know being military is we get to meet many different people from different walks of life. That is not a bad thing because you get to see someone from how they view the world, of how they view things differently from your own. So that way it keeps your mind constantly evolving. So the fact that you reach out to new streamers, whether you wanted to collaborate or you just want to find someone new to watch. It had been like late last year. I found someone new who was playing a single player game that I played a long time ago. I'm like, I'm going to watch this person. Instantly, I'm like, okay, she has the vibes. Her community is awesome. I'm here. I'm all for it. It's just another beautiful thing of the internet is this is a person I probably would never have found ever if Twitch wasn't a thing, if online content hasn't become what it is today. You shouldn't feel like you should be scared to like try to find new people. If you just stay like where you are, and possibly your content could become stagnant. That there is nothing new. You should always want to broaden your capabilities, environment that you're in. You don't want to be stuck in that just like that bubble, or else that's where you're just gonna stay as. When Grim first joined the org to where he is now, I saw him continuously just keep going up and up and up. He was meeting new streamers. He was playing with new people. He was reaching out, networking. That is part of the job. If you want this to be more than just as a hobby, you're gonna have to do that. That is a necessity. There is no ifs, ands, buts about it. But I can still see where that can be scary for some people because you have your little group, you have your little niche, tight knit community. You have to be ready to take that step out of your comfort zone.
It's that step out of your comfort zone and not being afraid to break out of your shell that you have as a streamer, because you do find that comfort zone that you establish in that little safe space that you establish with one game in particular, one crowd in particular. You can't be afraid to step outside of it. There's a beauty when it comes to stepping outside that comfort zone. One of the things that you have to do whenever you are stepping out of the comfort zone, say you do get ideas from other streamers in terms of stepping out of your comfort zone, is in terms of streamer etiquette, make sure you give credit where credit is due. If you gain inspiration from, say, a Caution or a Nice Wig or another big streamer for Apex or another big streamer for Dead by Daylight, if you're getting inspiration and ideas and you want to not necessarily copy what they're doing, but you want to kind of imitate, keep in mind that imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, but give credit where credit is due. Always give credit to that streamer, that content creator. Make sure if your stream is driven by another streamer's idea and another content creator's aspirations, make sure that you're giving that gratitude towards them and everything. Make sure it's tagged in content, because you can get a great idea that turns into something that is a complete nightmare because you forgot to give that credit. It can turn into the exact opposite thing that you're trying to portray, and it can also ruin your image in any form or any community. Make sure we're always giving credit where credit is due, and make sure that it's incorporated into anything that you upload, if it is. Regardless, I gain a lot of my inspiration from people who I hold as idols, and I've always held as idols. My first idol when I first started playing Apex was Nice Wig. It really was. I seen him start way down here, and where he is now, gone leaps and bounds beyond anything that not necessarily I expected, but I think he's gone past what he expected, and that's beautiful. Everybody knew what he was capable of, and he's truly become a product of what he can do. And it's a gorgeous thing. Another one is Caution, and I looked up to him as a Pathfinder main at the time. He was a Pathfinder main. I just studied his movement, and I was like, oh man, this is cool. I don't know how he did that. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. Dang, he's on mouse and key. He actually is the one that gave me the inspiration to play on mouse and key for an entire year, and I did. I played on mouse and key for an entire year. Didn't touch controller. Didn't do any of that. Loved it. It was a lot of fun. Obviously now I'm on controller again, but that's to say the least. It's always a little bit of inspiration here, a little bit of inspiration there, but make sure that credit is pointed in the right direction, because you don't want to have that tarnished image within a community, or you're just a copycat. Look like stand-up comedy. Tonto, have you ever watched stand-up comedy where it's like Amy Schumer did it, where she was copying other comedians' materials and stuff, and she was not owning up to it? I think Dan Cook's another one. That's a huge frowned upon thing. You don't do that. If you do, give credit. You gotta give that credit where it's due, because if you do that, it'll literally ruin your fucking career. Don't do that. Big no.
I do follow smaller time comedians, either on TikTok or Instagram, and I remember watching one of their stories, and they were saying that they did a joke, but the inspiration of that joke was from one of their buddies' jokes that they heard. So they, in a way, copied it, but still trying to make their own. But they did give afterwards, just so I'm getting credit where it's due. My buddy so and so, this is he did this joke, and this is how I incorporate it in my way. So that is fine. But he did the right thing, where he is like, hey, if this seems similar to this one, that's because of this. You don't want to have that image of yourself. Like Grim said before, you don't want to have that bad image, because you could have this. You may not even know about it, and you couldn't. And not like you were trying to steal something. It's just it didn't. Immediately pop in. Oh, I should probably do this. Just so I can give that credit. And then now people are talking. People will go to social media. Now it's circulating. People are putting their narrative of you, even though that is not you. It's already too late. So it may not seem like a big thing until you start doing more of this, pursuing this online creation life, but it is a thing that you do need to watch out for.
It's something that When you're doing it right, it can go beautiful, but the second you get relaxed and forget to give that credit, it can bite you in the ass completely. It's just sad truth of it. That's a little bit of do's and don'ts with just credit. As a streamer, I have some little pet peeves that, you know, chatters or first time chatters even, or you know, let it be a casual, you know, normal person that's coming in, but it's like certain things we don't always necessarily talk about it or like hit on it and everything like that, but that's out the window. This in this podcast, we are talking about it all. So we're gonna hit every pet peeve that we have as streamers from chatters coming in and saying stuff. Like one of mine is I have no control over ads. All right, as a streamer on Twitch, I have zero control over it. If I could turn it off, I would, guys. I really would. I promise you, I would. But please, it drives me nuts. Please don't complain about it. Like, we know it, you know it. Ads can be annoying. It's cool, but it's also like it's a key component to content creators making money as well. I'm not saying I'm gonna run like you know, I got like an 8-minute game limit. We're in 7 minutes of ads. No, that's toxic. That's toxic. Don't do that shit. You got to remember when you're watching those ads, keep in mind in the back of your head, you're supporting the streamer in a different way. Even if you're not subbed, this is your way and your form of supporting the streamer. You know, it may not be something crazy, insanely lucrative, but support the ability to monetize streams by just letting the ads come and go without complaining about it, like constantly. It's just one of those things that irks me to the wall. I can't help it. You can't help it. We can't help it. Twitch could help it. CEO, what's up? But you know, there's nothing we could do about it. Tonto, what's some of your pet peeves that you have that you can hit on?
It was definitely, again, with the ads. If that's the first thing you say, like, oh, way to go, ads. I'm like, bro, there's nothing we can do about that. Like, we can limit that as much as we, or like how many ads can, like, the time frame of that, but they're still gonna be there. The one thing I will appreciate is, like, if I'm having a conversation with someone, they're like, oh, hey, wait a minute, I have ads. I can't hear you right now. I'm like, okay, cool, got it. That is
100%.
fine, because you're letting us know that you can no longer can hear, you can't see anything. So that way we know not to keep on going and just droning on. Don't let that be your first thing. Like, don't cause attention to that. You know, just like, oh, hey, I got ads. The other thing is you being a backseat streamer. It's
Oh,
either whether we're playing a game or not, or we're just even it's just chatting. Like, they're like, oh, hey, you should really have your overlays, you know, probably like quarter-inch higher, or some stupid shit like that. Like, do not come into a stream, especially if you're new. Don't bring that energy in it. Just come in and say hello, say hi, throw in some emotes. Like, it's not that hard to do. That's how you create a conversation, not by giving shit to someone. Be a human
it's
being, a decent human being.
some people do enjoy, you know, that intake of like, you know, giving tips when they're playing, like say they're in the competitive scene or say they're, you know, in a game and they should have done something, they should have done this and they don't realize it and they let you know. Streamers will 9 times out of 10 will let you know beforehand, hey, it's okay, feel free, you know, backseat gaming is allowed, like you can give me tips, I'm new to this game, help me out. If they're new to the game, I've been playing Apex since day one. I'm not saying I know everything there is to know about the game, but chances are if I make a mistake or something happens where I should have done this or I should have done that, I'll take it up with my teammates and everything and we'll discuss it. We most likely realize that. But if I'm new to, like, say I'm playing Elden Ring, right? I'm not good at that damn game. I don't know nothing. I'm sitting there wandering around like crazy with a big sword, and I'm just like, that's a big. So you know I'm running. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Feel free. It'll be known in streams and in the beginning of streams or with said streamer to where backseat gaming is allowed. But don't give those unwarranted, unneeded tips or that lackadaisical, like, oh, you should have done this. Like, thank you. I know. I should have Horizon Q'd and threw my ult, but instead I Horizon Q'd and threw an arc. Like, ugh.
Read the room. If something happened that honestly didn't go our way, and you can see that we are not in the mood, you probably don't want to hear, well, what you should have done. No. You're instantly gonna set me off. I won't go off on you immediately, but you've already set a bad tone with me. Do not
Yeah.
do that, because there will be streamers that don't have, they're at different patience levels, and you will get entered on by that streamer and most likely their community. And to be granted,
Yeah.
I can't blame some. Like, I've seen some shit in other people's streams. They got what they asked for. If you put that target on yourself, you have no one to blame but yourself.
That's 1000% right there. I've definitely seen plenty of people come and just ask for it. Me myself, I'm one of those people. I don't mind banter. Anybody that's ever been in my stream ever, they see the banter that goes back and forth between me and my mods, or me and the VIPs, or me and the casuals, the people that come in. It's just casual, friendly banter and stuff. And people always give me shit, and that's something I'm used to, and that's fine. But there's a time and a place. If you know me well, you know when to poke the bear and when not to poke the bear. If I'm scrimming and stuff goes south, don't poke me. If it's a serious environment, just don't touch me. Please, no touchy. I need hype, not. I don't need to be degraded. You know, I'm one of those people that, even in teaching and guiding anybody, I teach and guide off of the principle of building a solid foundation, not tearing somebody down. I say, hey man, that was great, you did amazing, like you were killing it, but maybe next time. It's not like a oh and maybe or but this. I'm not being fake to you. It's nothing like that. I'm gonna tell you what you did great first, and then I'm gonna say the only thing you could have done to prevent this was this, or the only thing you could have done to do better is this. Like, it's guiding in the right way off of a positive influence, instead of being that person that's literally like Imperial Hal. I love Hal. Hal's great. He's little bit of dick, but he's great. He's great. Best IG out there. He just has different way of going about things, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. It's just one of those things where you got to 100% of the time 100% read the room, and you cannot give those unwarranted tips all the time. That's for sure. One thing that really irritates me, and you were talking about it earlier, Tonto. Whenever I first joined, you watched me go from this many people watching to this many people watching to this many people watching. You watched me grow into something that I am now. One thing that is kind of like, it's not irked me or rubbed me the wrong way, but it's something that you guys should always keep in mind. Don't talk about viewer counts. If it's low, let it be low, okay? Trust me, as a streamer, when we're low, we know, and we feel it, and it's something, and one of the reasons why I turned off my viewer count. Once I made an affiliate, I turned off my viewer count. I stopped wanting to pay attention to that. I was like, I need to be myself. I noticed it was affecting my mood. I noticed it was affecting how I would stream and how I would talk and be with my community, and that's not something that you want. It can have the exact opposite effect when counts are high, but when they're low, it hurts. And when they're high, it's great. But even when they're high, you can ask Tonto. Tonto was an eyewitness firsthand to what happened, Tonto, whenever I was raided by Wig. I froze.
So immediately I just saw people in his chat just doing the nice wig emote, but I don't follow nice wig. So I didn't know what this emote was going on. I'm like, what the hell? And then it came through that he was getting raided with that many people. I'm pretty sure like over 3,000 people he got raided with. I was trying to like hurry up to do the shout out command and everything, and then Grim was on such a delayed reaction. I was waiting for it, and he said, "What the fuck?" He could not talk. He was just looking at the chat, going crazy. It was in all caps like, "Breathe, breathe."
Till this day, I cannot thank you enough. I think every streamer should have this in their stream, is have that person that can bring you back up or bring you back down to where you need to be fundamentally as a streamer and everything. Because when I seen that happen, my head exploded. All sense and common sense and motor functions went out the window. I queued up for a ranked match, got rated while it was choosing character selection, and I stopped everything. I couldn't do anything. I literally was freaking out, and I had to leave the match. I couldn't function properly. I even apologized to my teammates. I was solo queuing, but I apologized to them. I was like, guys, I can't do anything for you, man. I'm sorry. I just got raided by Nice Wig. I'm freaking the hell out. I can't do anything. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And they're like, huh? And I left. I accepted the 10-minute penalty. I was like, that 10 minutes is going to be enough for me to cool down. But either way, it's a core reason why I'm talking about, mentioning viewer counts. Whenever that raid happened, fast forward about 6 hours, a lot of people hung out and stayed around. People were coming in and being like, it's honestly kind of insulting sometimes when somebody that you know follows you and you've known for a while comes in and goes, what the heck? Who the hell raided you? Immediately coming in and just putting that mood of like, there's no way this guy has this many viewers. Oh, somebody had to have raided him, and just coming and typing that shit out. Like, come on, man. Like, yeah, of course I got raided, bro.
Where's the hype?
Vibe. Be like, let's go, man. Like, you gotta hype your boys up. You gotta hype the girls up. Hype everybody up. It's not a matter of coming in and assuming shit. Don't mention viewer counts. Don't be ignorant. They don't want the anxiety of knowing how high or low that number is in real time. Allowing this ignorance is a bliss attitude, it's dumb. Don't do it. Period. Point blank period. Do not talk about viewer counts. It sucks if you're doing it on the high end, especially on the low end. Because streamers,
they just stop immediately because they see that there's no one there, or it's like maybe one or two people. It just demotivates you so much, and it should not. It sucks seeing that, but everyone has to start small, and you never know who's watching either. So what was happening to Grim? Like, we went to Nice Week stream to see like why did this happen, and he saw that Grim was up for like 2 days, and he's just like, what the fuck? You just never know who is watching you. You had to either present yourself a certain way. You could be that next person that get rated by Nice Egg or another bigger streamer. You will never know that. But you should always want to stay your genuine self, and you don't want to have those type of people who would mention things like that to you. Those type of people will always bring you down. They're not good for you, not good for the stream, not good for your mental well-being. If that's how they want to present themselves in your stream, that should not be a thing that's allowed. You should never allow people like that to continue doing things like that in your stream. Doesn't matter if they're a homie or not.
Yeah.
If they're a homie, they would be there to support you, not to bring you down.
I think that goes hand in hand. Talking about the raid, talking about getting raided, talking about viewer count, you can also bring up the factor of like, people do ask me, they're like, hey, you've been raided by this person, you've been raided by this person, people do raid you quite often and stuff like that. What is going on? Yeah, it's like the common sense stuff of like, the go-to answer is like, oh, just be yourself, be energetic, be fun, be somebody that other people want to bring their communities and share their communities with you, be that person. But also, and this is something that it drives me fucking nuts when I see it. If you're a new streamer and you're a small streamer, or if you're an old streamer and you've been streaming for a while and you were wondering why numbers are stagnant, things are going stagnant like this, but you have followers only mode on, turn that shit off. I understand there's a safety aspect to it. I understand there's, oh, I don't want to get hate rated and stuff like that. Well, you're not getting rated, period. Nothing for you. I promise you. If I go in to go raid somebody, even if it's somebody I know, and my chat informs me, hey, so-and-so's got follower only mode on, man. Like, I couldn't talk in their chat. I'm never going to raid you again. I'm not going to raid you, period. Other people aren't going to raid you. I think the other day, me, Tonto, and Girls were talking about it, that people missed out on raids for that. It's something that happens quite often. Turn that shit off. There's other ways to combat hate raids and everything else like that. I promise you. And if you do have those questions, my DMs are open. I can gladly help you. There's plenty of knowledgeable people within SRC and the org and the Discord. They know how to combat against those hate raids without ever going into follower only mode. Just turn that shit the fuck off. If you're wondering why it looks bad, it's because nobody wants to have to follow and be followed for 5 minutes or some shit like that before they can type in your chat. Chances are they're just going to leave your stream immediately after the raid. That raid's a dead raid. That's a dead follow for follow type shit. It's dumb. It's stupid. There's no point in it. Just turn it off. How do you feel about it, Tonto?
It's just like, as soon as you get to that person's page, whether it's a raid or you just like, oh, hey, I found a new streamer. I was searching for someone new to watch. And then you can't do anything. You can't talk. You can't join the conversation with whatever's going on. You can't even emote. Why should I be forced to follow you before I can even have a conversation with you? I can watch you. I can listen to you. This is why I prefer smaller streamers compared to bigger streamers, because they're able to respond to you. You have like that intimate relationship with this person because they see you, they acknowledge you, compared to you being with thousands and thousands of other chatters that are in the stream. So why are you putting this barrier between us with these follow or sub only modes? That just makes me personally, like, well, I wasted a few minutes of my life being here that I'll never get back. I'm gonna leave and never come back.
It's not beneficial. It really isn't. It's just gonna hurt you. It's gonna hurt the feelings of friends or other people that wanted to raid because they like your personality. I could like your personality and what you're doing, and you could be the most cracked player in the world for any said game. But if you have that on, I'm not raiding you. It's just a no-go. Sorry, bud. It's not happening. I'm not even gonna sub to you. Like, matter of fact, I might message you off to the side and ask why in the hell you got that shit going on. If you're my friend, I'm not gonna be rude, and I'm not gonna message some random streamer and ask. That's. I'm not gonna do that. That's their business.
The point of that raid is to keep the party going, to send those people over to the next person to keep that hype up. But as soon as you go to there, there's immediately just like you're basically getting a door slammed right in your face. That's just what it is, and that's not only to you, that's also to your community as well.
It's definitely it's a no-go for me. I absolutely can't stand it. There's the other aspect of raids and everything that when you're going live or you're streaming already and your go live notifications going off in your Discord, that's already going off. That's one thing. It's okay to let some people know, if they're wondering if you're live. Don't spam your followers with like, hey, come join my stream. Don't spam, especially do not go into other people's streams and be like, hey man, I'm live right now, man. It'd be good to see you over here. Don't talk about your stream in other people's streams. Don't talk about how you're live in other people's streams. Shit's rude. Don't fucking do it. Don't sit there and beg for a raid. First of all, I've been messaged. I have been personally messaged quite a few times with people asking, hey man, once you're done streaming, do you mind raiding me? Huh? No. It's not, no. Thank you for not doing that in my chat, but no, like, that's not how you do it, man. Like, you're not a homeless person on the side of the road begging for change. That's not how this works. That's not what's going on. Like, this isn't, I will raid you if I see potential that my community would enjoy your content. I will raid you if you are a member of SRC. Automatically, first dibs, just saying. I'm a little biased, but that's just like, that's me. And I will raid you if I think that things are going to be interesting, and I'll talk to my chat. I'll talk to the community. I'm not going to raid you if you message me. That's never a good idea. Ever a good idea. That's not a way to, do your networking. Speaking of networking, Tonto, we do have an episode coming up where we do touch base and tell you guys how to properly network. It's coming up. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But there is proper ways to network, and we will teach you guys how to do that one of these days. With that, I don't know, Tonto. You think I think we covered quite a bit for streamer etiquette. Regardless of that, make sure you guys watch this back, listen back, whatever you guys want to listen to. It's a very knowledgeable stream. I cannot thank Grizz enough for what he's done. I cannot thank Tonto enough for the things that you do on a daily basis. It's been a hell of a ride. This is episode 2. For episode 3, myself and Tonto and maybe a little surprise guest will pop in, and we're going to go and dive into content creation.
In 2 weeks.
We're going to dive into that, and if you guys want to know any bit of knowledge that myself has, that Tonto has, and honestly, Grizz, we might get your beautiful face in here week after next. I know you guys can't hear him or anything like that. We can hear him. His special voice. It's very
special.
Very, very nice voice. Grizz is one of our content creators who does play games outside of Apex as well as Apex, So it'd be nice to pick his brain as well. Maybe get him to guest star in episode 3. Either way, though, it's been a heck of an episode. A lot of stuff covered. With that, I'm Grim.
I'm Tonto.
And this is SourceCast episode number 2. Guys have a great weekend.
Later, guys.